If you've ever been friend zoned by a girl, even after you felt like you did literally everything right, shoot, maybe this is a situation that you're in right now as we speak, this video is gonna hopefully help you out. In this video, we're gonna cover a story of mine from a time when I got friend zoned by a girl I really like, and it hurt me quite a bit. What I learned from this, and how you cannot make this same mistake again. And if you are in the friend zone right now, maybe how you can get out of the friend zone. So first of all, let's set the scene. This was back going into my sophomore year of high school. There was this one girl who lived in my neighborhood that I had a huge crush on, and I would see her all the time. I would spend a bunch of time texting her. I would hang out with her, and I spent basically like 2 months getting to know this girl, hanging out with her in a group and FaceTiming her all the time. And then one day, I finally worked up the courage to tell her that I liked her. I told her, hey, to be honest with you, I really have a huge crush on you, and I'd like to take you out sometime and get to know you a bit better. Like, when would you be free to go out and do something? And what she said next really hurt. She basically told me like, oh, wow, like that's cool that you feel that way. Honestly, I don't really know if I like you like that, and I'm kind of shocked that you like me. I thought we were just friends. And bro, my heart sank after I heard that because I really liked this girl. So here are a few lessons that I learned from this moment. The first area where I went wrong is I didn't set clear intentions, and I treated her like a friend. Oftentimes, a lot of guys get confused on why they get friend zoned. Like, what was the exact reason why I did it? And the truth is, there's a lot of areas that you can mess up and a lot of things that you can fail at. But generally, there is one principle that if you follow and if you abide by, you're going to head in the right direction and not get friend zoned again. And that all has to do with setting clear intentions and not putting yourself in the friend zone. See, if you look back at my situation, one of the areas where I messed up is I never made a move. I took forever getting to know her and talking to her and asking her about her life, but never actually like making a move to be more than friends. But the truth is, like, when you put yourself in this situation where you're treating her like a friend, well, of course you're gonna get friend zoned because you're literally putting yourself in the friend zone. You're positioning her as her friend. And the second thing I did is I spent way too much time getting to know her and got way too heavily invested. And this is kind of building off of the last one. You don't want to take forever to get to know somebody before asking them out. And the reason for this is that there's a few reasons for it. First of all, it shows a huge lack of confidence because if you like a girl, she's not stupid. She probably understands that you have feelings for her. So the worst thing you can do is spend weeks, spend months getting to know her, but never actually making a move, because that says I'm a man with low confidence. I'm a man who doesn't believe in myself. I'm a man who can't go for what I want. And that is not the masculine energy that a woman is going to be attracted to. She's attracted to the guy who goes for what he wants, who's confident, who doesn't really hide who he naturally, authentically is. So you have to embrace more of that version of yourself. When you like a girl, don't sit around and take forever getting to know her and spend weeks texting her. Just ask her out for a date. Now, I know what you might be saying. Oh, well, but what if I ask her out and she's not ready to go out with me? But the truth is, usually a girl will know fairly quickly whether or not she'd want to go on a date with you. Now, you still have to take some time to get to know her. Maybe it's 2 or 3 days of texting her, FaceTiming her once before you ask her out, but it shouldn't be something that takes more than a week. If you have to do more than that, really you're just coping and you're just wasting your time. So you should ask a girl out within, at the very most, a week of getting to know her. And then on top of this, you have to also make your intentions clear. When you are talking to a girl, you can't be afraid to escalate. You can't be afraid to make a move. You can't be afraid to want to be more than friends. Because if you go out with this girl and you'd say, oh yeah, let's just hang out and let's just go do something, you're not setting that clear being more than friends example. Instead of just telling her, oh yeah, let's go hang out sometime, let's go do something, tell her, let's go on a date sometime. When are you free? That way she knows that you're asking her out for a date and there's no gray area or room left for confusion. Now, I know what you might be saying. Oh, but what if I ask her out for a date and then it's too much and she doesn't want to go out on a date with me? But bro, it's way better to just know early on, to just know that she doesn't really see you that way, than to spend weeks, to spend months texting this girl just to learn eventually that she does not see you that way. And then when you're actually on the date, when you're going out with her, don't be afraid to make a move. Don't be afraid to go for the kiss. Don't be afraid to hold her hand. Don't be afraid to put your arm around her. Now, I know what you might be saying, oh, but what if I make a move and she doesn't want to go for it and it makes things awkward? But again, it's better to just know early on, not have that fear, scarcity mindset, go for what you want. And if it doesn't work out, fine. But it's still better to be the guy who's confident, to be the guy who's masculine, to be the guy who goes for what he wants. Because then she'll think like, okay, this is a guy who's confident. This is a guy who's attractive. This is a guy who's a leader. Think like James Bond, for example, right? When James Bond is hanging out with a girl, is he afraid to make a move? Is he afraid to go for the kiss? No, of course not, because he's a G, okay? So that's the way that you have to think too. You have to think like a G. And then last but certainly not least, if a girl ever says, I don't really see you that way, but I want to stay friends, you have to be willing to say no. Now, I know what you might be saying. Well, but like, we could stay friends and then maybe after a while we would be able to date and she'd like me as more than friends. But what type of life is that mindset setting you up for? That's saying, I'm a man who settles. I'm a man who goes for less than what he actually wants, who's not going to be fully fulfilled. And yeah, you could settle for being friends with this girl, but the truth is, that's not what you want. It'll never feel right to you. You'll hear about her talking to other guys and she'll tell you about all these things she's doing while you're not even really like being more than friends. And it's going to hurt your soul, not only after hearing all of this, but also just knowing that you're a guy who settles in life. The truth is, that's not the type of guy that you want to be. You want to be a guy who goes for what he wants, who has goals, who has ambitions, and not just with dating, but with literally everything in life. Never be a man who settles. Be a man who goes for what he wants, who aims for the best, who doesn't really accept less than that. And if she does want to be friends and you don't really want that, you don't have to be rude about it. You don't have to be an asshole. You still be kind to her, still be nice, but just tell her respectfully, like, hey, that's not really what I want. I'm not really looking for that. I'm looking for a girl who, sees me as more than that. And yeah, you might lose her, but she'll at least respect you for it. And maybe sometime down the road, right, she'll realize that she missed out and she'll come back to you. But in any case, the worst thing you can do is settle. So with all that being said, I hope this video helped you out. If you found it did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. That way you can see more videos like this one. And I'll see you for the next video, bro. By the way, no pressure, but once you find that my free videos have helped you out quite a bit, you've gotten some value from them, and you want to take your dating life to the next level, and you want my help getting to where you want to be, you can check the link to my coaching in the description, book a free call with me, and we can see if you'd be a good fit and get you to achieving your goals.